Hey folks, today is Friday, November 27th, 2015. Hope you Americans had a great Thanksgiving. Let's talk about some cool video game stuff that happened this week in this show that doesn't have a name. Probably never will. Let's talk about giveaways first and foremost. We've been doing giveaways on almost a weekly basis for a long time now, and I got another one to roll out right now. Think of this as kind of like a belated Thanksgiving gift from us to you. You can win a PlayStation 4, an Xbox One, or a 3DS. We're giving all of those away. All you have to do is click the link below, sign up for our mailing list, and enter to win that way. We have been doing console giveaways for a while now. Here are some of the winners.
And in case any of you guys are wondering if this is real, here you go. Thanks, gameranx.
I entered the gameranx highlights community highlights challenge, and I happened to win. You guys are great. Keep on making good videos, and thank you so much.
Now that we got all that free stuff out of the way, let's talk about PlayStation 4 and Remote Play. Now, Remote Play is actually a pretty cool feature that I've been using on my Vita, you know, when it works, when I actually have good Wi-Fi, which is basically never. But some crafty guy out there has figured out how to use PS4 Remote Play on a PC, and it's actually pretty slick. I gotta say, when I first saw this video, it was like a miracle seeing the PlayStation 4 come to life on the PC desktop screen. This guy made a whole GUI from the ground up and actually managed to get this working. And now, one thing though, he's actually charging for it, which... Ooh. Now, I'm no lawyer or smart person by any means, but I feel like that is not a good idea. For a number of reasons. Like, number one, okay, this type of thing, like, people usually make this stuff, give it out for free, like emulators and stuff like that. But number two, the fact that he's charging and it's like Sony stuff means that they can come at him hard. So basically what I'm trying to say is check this out now while it lasts. Because that would of course be a very cool thing to have your laptop out on the go somewhere and be able to fire up your PlayStation 4 right on your computer. Please? Can that be a thing? Sony, can you make that an official thing that I don't have to pay some guy in his basement $15 for? And like I said, as much as I talk about new stuff in gaming, sometimes I just like to talk about cool video game stuff on this show. So check out this reloading animation. Honestly, this tops any awesome reloading animation from that Battlefield beta we've ever seen. If you want to see the full GIF, I linked it down below, as well as everything else I talk about today, including Dark Souls 3 and how it seems like From Software might be moving on from the series after the fact. Fearless leader of From Software, Hidetaka Miyazaki, has said in an interview with GameSpot that it wouldn't be right to continue creating Souls. He said, and I quote, "I'm considering Dark Souls 3 to be the big closure on the series." He says that with the idea that the main series has ran its course, the spin-offs are doing well, like Bloodborne is very cool, and the fact that they themselves, the creators at From Software, want to actually move on and create new things. And I can respect that. Most games and movies and sequels and stuff are usually dragged through the mud for all the profit, so it's nice to see something actually bowing out. And I'm all for From Software trying bigger and cooler new things, because they've come a long way since the original Demon Souls game. They have grown immensely. So I'm sure there's a lot of other new things and ideas that they want to try, and now that they have the power, the money, and the science, they could do that. So I wish them all the best. Speaking of things getting dragged through the mud, it looks like 2K is doubling down and definitely making new Bioshock games without Ken Levine. Take-Two CEO Strauss Zelnick reinforced during a talk that they are definitely doubling down and making another Bioshock, saying, "The franchise is in the hands of 2K. They'll make announcements in due time about any upcoming releases, but Bioshock is unquestionably a permanent franchise for our company and one that we do believe in." So there's that. He also talked about Ken Levine and what he is working on with his smaller studio setup with 2K, and he didn't want to steal his thunder, but he did say that they were working on something cool, innovative, and exciting. Which I think is very interesting that Ken Levine is still working with 2K even though he's separate from Bioshock, even though they still have Bioshock. It's a little weird. It's a little different with something like Konami, where Metal Gear Solid is owned by Konami and Hideo Kojima isn't even with Konami anymore. So that I think is very interesting, and it's funny I bring up Kojima because I feel like this is a conversation us as people who play video games are gonna have to have with ourselves, because going down the line, it's like, do we really want to try these games that are being made not by the people that made them the way they are? You know, like Bioshock is so weird and unique and different because of Ken Levine. Metal Gear Solid is so weird and unique and different and charming because of Hideo Kojima. I'm probably one of the most skeptical people in the world with stuff like this, but I do like to also give teams a chance. Just because they don't have the exact ideas of Kojima or Ken Levine doesn't mean that a new team coming in to make a game doesn't have the passion and excitement about the series and the fire under their ass to actually try and make something good and respectful and passionate. You know what I mean? So that's probably why I will give a new Bioshock a chance, but will you guys? I want to talk to you down in the comments. And speaking of very serious video game things like I was just talking about, check out this cat dressed up like a Fallout character. Yeah, this is Catmeat. It's Catmeat. It's really funny. I don't know, I think that's cool. It was posted by the Reddit user Can't Trust Hillary, and it's awesome. As a new cat owner, I really want to do this to my cat, but then I realized that I have priorities and things to do, and I don't have enough time in my life to make cosplay for myself, let alone my fucking cat. Sorry, cat. You know, you're not even there. I'm talking to nothing. There's no cat there. Let's talk about this new Battlefront mod that Martin Bergman is working on. This guy is famous for also modding Grand Theft Auto 5 very well, and he's doing some mods to Battlefront. This is a work in progress, not available yet, that makes the game look more, I guess, realistic? I don't know what it does, but it just makes the game look better than it already does, because we can say that the graphics in Battlefront are pretty damn good. This time around, these effects make it look very much like the original Star Wars movie in the opening scenes of Tatooine, like that real grit, rocky. I don't know if it's like the lighting or a film grain that they're adding. I don't know what exactly they're doing to it, but it makes it look amazing. Look at these screenshots. I would 100% be using these mods for the occasional time where I do jump into Battlefront, but unfortunately my graphics card just took a dump. And last but not least, let's talk about getting a video game power in real life. I stumbled across this thing that you can buy for like $150. You strap it to your hand and it lets you shoot fireballs. Sure, the fireballs aren't capable of killing anyone, and it uses a certain flammable paper pellets that shoot out and burst into quick, harmless flames, but it looks super sweet. It also looks kind of dangerous and fun. A couple of other people on YouTube have experimented with it, and it looks really cool, and I'm thinking I might get it and try and set my cat on fire. Since we were talking about Bioshock, I really wish it would work that way, like if you just snap your fingers and set stuff on fire. That would be really cool, but this seems to be the next best thing, and it kind of seems to work. Maybe we'll test it in a future show. But ladies and gentlemen, that has been about it for me. At the time of making this video, it was a quiet week because of Thanksgiving, but we do have the Video Game Awards and PSX going on this weekend, so maybe we'll get some cool announcements and things to talk about next week. I'm really excited. I've heard there are going to be some bombs dropping, so I'm ready for it. I hope you guys are too. And speaking of being ready for it, follow me on Twitter if you want, at Jake Baldino if you haven't already. We can talk about video games all the time. And if you did enjoy this untitled show thing, clicking the like button helps me out so much. I cannot tell you how much it helps me out. I'm serious. And subscribing to gameranx is the best thing you can do because we put out videos every single day, so you'll never be bored. But as always, guys, I'm Jake Baldino. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. Pizza's on me.